Hey, Walking Dead fans, welcome back to the channel. This is going to be the spoiler review, total spoiler review of the finale of Season 10 of The Walking Dead. Episode 16 of Season 10 of The Walking Dead, the finale episode. So spoiler alert, if you have not watched that episode, and this video is coming out the morning of that it's going to air on AMC. So it is early. But the show came out early on AMC Plus, so it's been out for several days now. So many people have already viewed it, so this is for you guys a little early, just like the episode was released early, but definitely spoiler alert. So right off the bat, I want to say it was a great episode. I loved it. Of course, I'll have a little bit of criticism as I go along my review here, and I won't just detail out the episode, but I will touch on different subjects, talk about it as we go along, what happened. And of course, it felt like kinda that I'd already seen at least half the episode. It wasn't an extended episode. It was just a regular episode as far as the length, and it felt like I'd already watched like half of it. Why? Because of all the promos, because of the extended opening minutes, several clips and sneak peeks they released, promo photos that told us who kind of got out, how they got out, and just so many different things. We knew Maggie was coming back. That wasn't a surprise. A lot of it just felt like, okay, I'm watching the episode and I'm seeing it play out, but I feel like I've already been here. So other than that, and there was that long wait, of course, because of the pandemic. But other than that, overall, it's a great episode. A lot of stuff happened, some exciting moments, and we'll get to those. But the opening minutes, I won't go back through that. But it's the Gabriel and the kids and talking to the kids and everybody getting ready. We learn Maggie. We see her get the letter. We know she's coming. We see Virgil, and we see him later towards the end of the episode. So we get introduced and kind of looking at a bunch of stuff, but we roll right into then after that Eugene and his crew, and he's had a bike wreck. We don't see it on screen, but he's had a bike wreck, and he's trying to give up. He's bumped his head, and everybody's pep talking him back into the adventure of going and meeting Stephanie. They will make it on time. It's going to happen. So then off they go. So then we go back to the hospital tower where everyone's getting ready, getting the guts on them, getting out the door. Father Gabriel, Judith, and some others are staying behind. And that scene starts to play out. So yeah, I like the people, the groups of two going through the horde of walkers that had some whispers mixed in. And overall, though, as we know now, as you surely watched the episode, the death toll at the end was just a bunch of whispers, Beta and Beatrice. We didn't really lose hardly anybody, so that in itself was a little, no, I don't like our people dying or anything, but disappointing. All the death predictions and all that kind of stuff. We thought we'd lose Magna, maybe we thought we'd lose Father Gabriel, just so many things, but we really didn't lose hardly anybody. Beatrice, which definitely more of a minor character than some of our major characters. But the group going through the horde was really cool. It would have been intense. I think they could have done some different camera angles to make it even more seemingly immersive. But, the Magna, her trying to get through it, and Jerry had asked her earlier in the tower if she was going to be okay because of what she went through. Getting stuck in a cave and then getting lost in the horde and ended up at Hilltop about the time it was burning down. But during all of this scene too, also like in the hospital tower, we get a lot of people kind of making up, talking. It's like Lydia and Carol, and then Lydia and Negan, and Carol and Daryl do some talking. So it's just a lot of things that ends up getting resolved in the end. We see everybody hugging, and I'll show some frames of that later. But of course, the one character that did go down, Beatrice, she goes down. She's carrying some equipment, and I don't know why Carol didn't immediately kind of try to turn around and grab the bag, possibly because she didn't want to see the gruesomeness of what was happening. But someone did grab the bag. We see a hand, and it's Lydia. Lydia was left in the tower with Father Gabriel and the others shooting some arrows down at Whisperers That was what Lydia was for, trying to point out the Whisperers. She was looking through binoculars. So that was a good asset, but they ended up losing them in the Horde. So Negan ends up giving her Alpha's mask at one point, and she ends up then going out into the Horde. When they lose everyone down in the Horde from spotting, she goes down, she grabs the bag, she has Alpha's mask on. It's pretty cool little transition there. And she rescues the bag, the equipment, and her and Carol make it over to the rest of them at the edge of the woods. And another cool part is the booby traps that they set for the Whisperers trying to come up the hospital tower stairwell. Had a nail put in his eye, his face kind of exploded, but it came right back at them when the Whisperers threw one into their room and took out a couple of archers, almost got Father Gabriel. Judith had went to get Dog, or she could have been in that as well. But Father Gabriel told everyone to exit, Judith, everyone to get out. But Father Gabriel told everyone to exit, get out of that floor down the elevator shaft. Makes you wonder how Dog got away. But everybody leaves. The Whisperers burst through the door. Gabriel takes out one with a shotgun, puts up a pretty good fight, but he's about to get taken out. And we think, hey, this is it. This is our death prediction. But nope. Someone saves him.
It's okay. He's with me.
So Maggie saves the day, or, well, her masked friend is a big help as well. The one that saves Aaron, helps Aaron and Alden. And no, the person is never unmasked. Then they get to the wagon, and that's the whole thing we kind of found out about early, but, you know, they might have had some equipment in their backpacks, but they didn't have all that crap on the wagon. Holy crap, at the stuff and horns and speakers and guitar amps and just everything you can think of strapped to that wagon. I thought, okay, they're going to have this little stereo system with a speaker or two, you know, hoping for the best. Holy crap. They have like the fat lady singing, you know, like in some previous episodes with the Saviors, that truck full of speakers. Oh my God, I laughed out loud when I saw the actual wagon and all that stuff. They had to have all that stuff previously already on the wagon or something. I mean, that's crazy. But it's funny, burning down the house, they started playing the song. I out of all the cool songs they've used with different things, it's funny sometimes the selection of music that they choose. But I guess when you're in the apocalypse, hey, that's just the only cassette or CD or whatever it was they had. That's all they found, man. That's all they found. But it works. They're blaring, burning down the house, and they're leading the Horde away, as you can see them strutting and dancing down the road toward the cliff, the eventual cliff that they're going to walk over, and everything will end. The Whisperers, the Horde, everything. But that don't happen just as planned because the Whisperers attack. It's pretty cool. They grab some walkers and put them in front of them to stop the arrows. And eventually they make their way and run the group off. And the horses attack the wagon, break it all to pieces, stop the music. Well, now what are they going to do? Well, Lydia steps up and says, I will lead them off the cliff. She takes that charge. So that happens. Lydia takes over that job, while the rest of them, Daryl says, we're going to have to go kill the Whisperers one by one, or our people, you know, aren't going to make it. So we got to head back and just kill them all. And to me, that was about the coolest part of the entire episode, is the little sleuthing around of our guys. Like, okay, we're turning it back on you. You were moving around amongst the walkers. We're going to be like ninjas and come in and kill you. Like the Magna shot I thought was really, really cool. But then Beta realizes this, but then Negan steps up in his mask and says, hey, it's time to fight. And I know most of you have read the comic, a bunch of you have read the comic, and you know about the Negan Beta fights in it. He breaks Lucille over Beta's back, all this kind of stuff. To me, the comic fight was 1 billion trillion times better than the show fight. Any fight. The Daryl Beta fight was okay, but Beta wasn't really trying to kill him, you know. He was looking for Lydia. He was trying to get information out of him. So anyway, back to this fight, as far as the Beta fight, the Beta death, he just throws Negan down, jumps on top of him and says, I'm going to stab you for Alpha in the name of Alpha or whatever. It was just nothing. And I guess that could happen. And then Daryl comes in, slices him along the chest, it looks like. And as he turns around, Daryl's just ready, and 2 knives down into the eyes. And realistically, Beta wouldn't have lasted 0 seconds at that point. He would have fell over dead. But it's Beta. He's the big badass villain, Michael Myers type, I guess, and he stands up and kind of resurrects. He has this flashback of all this Alpha stuff and everything. And the walkers finally tear his mask off and he dies. So when his mask comes off, Negan's like, hey, do you know who that was? And Daryl's like, yeah, nobody. So that entire scene, as far as reflecting back or mirroring the comic, man, the comic just did so much better.
Shit. You know who that asshole was?
Yeah, nobody.
This jumps us to the cliff where Lydia is leading the horde over the cliff. Carol comes in and saves the day and says, no, Lydia, it must be me. I must sacrifice for all the bad things that I've done. It should be me. It will be me. You go, you go. And of course, then Lydia comes in and saves Carol at the last moment. And they're both just kind of hiding behind a rock as all the walkers walk off the cliff. So as everyone rendezvous and we see who made it, who lived and everything, pretty much everyone, there's a lot of hugs going on and different things like that. We get to see Rosita for a moment and Coco, so at least we know they made it out as well. We get to see Jerry's wife and kids, so there's a lot of other people there that we didn't see back at the hospital tower, but they were trying to protect, like Father Gabriel was trying to protect. And of course, we see Maggie and her reunion with Gracie and then Judith. And she doesn't even acknowledge RJ. That's kind of funny. It'd been funny if he screamed out, who the hell is that? But, and I guess they'll explore that more or play that out a little bit more, maybe in the extra 6 episodes. And maybe there just wasn't the place for it here. Trying to fit everything in that they did, that would have just taken up a little more time they can put into the next season or the next 6 episodes. And like I say, there's a lot of hugging going on, a lot of making up, even Daryl and Carol. So they're well on their way to New Mexico at this point. They got an entire season to go though. That'll be after season 11, the Daryl Carol show. But then we see Connie. We see Connie in her little snippet. I was hoping she would be, clean and like with a whisperer mask or something, killing whispers inside the horde. That she really came out of it on top and she was the superhero that she had talked about. But, she's been through some shiznit. It looks like she's looking rough. She's tried her best. She survived, though. She survived, and she's looking pretty rough, though. And who comes upon her? Virgil on a horse. So Virgil will be able to save Connie, and that's awesome. And now the ending, which wasn't as jaw-dropping as Greg Nicotero said it would be, just probably because I've read the comics and I was hoping that's what they would do, so it wasn't such a surprise. World Beyond, that'll be a review right after this video. World Beyond premiered after the finale, so I'll be doing a review on that as well. I enjoyed that tremendously as well, so you'll have to check out that review. To me, that ending was much more jaw-dropping, so definitely check out that review. But we do see Commonwealth. It was leaked already by AMC, an image or some little promo. It showed a little bit of the armor. And that's just like the comic, man. Totally good comparison. I think that's awesome. And I hope it even plays out like it does in the comic going forward with this scene and how it all plays out. Stephanie's not really there. And all kinds of stuff. So this was really awesome. Not jaw-dropping to me, but definitely awesome. The armor, how many of them there were, the lights coming on, the way Eugene looked, he was scared crapless, you know what I'm saying? And so all of that was great, and I love the ending. If that had to be the cliffhanger, great. That's a good one, and all's good. I thought the episode was great. Beta's fight, death could have been more. Other than that, that's possibly the only real critique that I have against the finale would be the Beta death fight scene there. But just as a whole, it was a great episode. But that's just some quick thoughts, just an overview, I guess, just some ramblings on the finale. I'll definitely break down little pieces and parts in other videos going forward. I'll have the World Beyond review coming up and several theory videos, or at least a couple right off the bat, on World Beyond. Got some big stuff, I think, actually, surprising, and made me smile, made me go, wow, they did something that I wasn't expecting at all, and how it all kind of is starting to tie together. So definitely check out the future videos, a few coming up. We'll be talking about so much Walking Dead stuff, man. We're back. It's back. Oh, it feels good. It feels good to be back. But let me know what you think about it all down in the comments below, and you know I'll join you there. This is James in Nashville. Just wanting to say, hey, I hope everybody's safe and just hanging in there. You know, life is crazy these days for some of us. A little more normal for some, I guess. But I hear you. I feel you. And, you know, I hope we can all hang in there and enjoy the Walking Dead universe that's come back to us, and unite together in that. If there's any one thing that all of the subscribers and the fans out there as far as the Walking Dead universe goes, that one thing we have in common that can unite us, because there's not much else out there, man, right now. When I look at the landscape of stuff, people are just so divided every which way. At least there's this one thing that we can come together and talk about, and hopefully, you know, be nice to each other as we do it. As always, thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more dead stuff.